Flapping your gums with Vinny and Hessey. Yeah!
All right. What's up, y'all? We are back. Oh, yeah. Flapping your gums with Vinny and Hessey. I'm Hessey. This is Vinny.
Episode 36.
36, son. All right, dude. So, how'd your week go? Anything crazy?
Doing
Anything
great.
fun? Anything exciting?
No, nothing exciting. Monday through Thursday. Got a call in the morning on Friday and was like, "Hey, do you want to take the day off?" And I'm like, "Yep." I'm on vacation this week, and I had to get ready to get Cannon and do some duck hunting on Saturday. So, got my stuff out on Friday. Cannon and I went and checked a spot that my neighbor has some property out in, I don't know what you would call it. It's just, they're kind of wetlands, a little bit. It's got a river and a canal and all kinds of stuff that runs in his property, so we got permission to go there. His grandson had built a blind years ago with some pallets, so we went to find it and check it out. So we ended up there at 6:30 in the morning on Saturday. We didn't see anything, but it was what it was. I got to try out my new waders that I got at a yard sale last year. And they got a couple holes in them. It was fun.
Found the leaks.
Found the leaks in the
So
boots.
I think you just patch them up with like a tire patch, right? Like the rubber heat-on ones.
Maybe, I don't know.
I
It's
think
right
that's how
where
you
the
do it.
creases are. I was thinking about
You
just
take
plastic
the-
dipping the whole thing.
Well, you take and put that. I guess basically it comes with the plug. It's like what you used to do for like your rubber tires.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like I guess
It's like a rubber glue type
rubber
stuff.
cement
Yeah.
type stuff, and then you put that patch on there.
Yeah,
That's how
that'd
I
be
do
something I
it.
could give a
It's
try.
neoprene. They're the neoprene ones, right?
Yeah, but this was down in the actual boot, like the rubber, the plastic on the boot, like your muck boots or anything like that. So it's the hard plastic, harder
I think
plastic.
you still could. Yeah, I think it still would work the same. You know what I mean? You'd still get it. Yeah, you can patch them. Easy enough.
But I
Well,
walked
that's cool.
halfway out
So
in the river.
went out
I
there
was
and
up to
didn't
my
get
waist,
nothing,
and
huh?
it didn't fill up, so it was a little wet in my socks, but it wasn't so bad.
That's good. You fill up. Yeah, he didn't fill up and then sink to the bottom.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't.
No,
fill
I
up,
mean
no.
you don't want. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I was
Yeah,
out
so
prepared. I was.
I feel
planning
like,
on not doing that.
What's that? Oh yeah, the
I was
quick
like,
release.
hey, quick release. Once
Yeah.
they fill up, you should be able to get out of it, because like when you get in there and it's not full of water, it sucks to your body. So I thought, okay,
Yeah.
if it did start to fill up, don't panic. Undo it, and then you should be able to maybe kind of get out of it a little bit easier.
Oh
But
yeah, for sure. You always want to. Yeah,
that's-
you always want to have that fall over or something, or drop down into a hole like a deep spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to have that in the back of your mind. Be planning on how your exit route.
on the inside of the waders, it tells you like to have some kind of belt and all this kind of stuff, so you can tighten it off so water doesn't go down over the top of the bibs and fill up. Like there's some belt you're supposed to wear so it doesn't go into
Keep 'em out of
into
the bottom.
legs and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I've never seen that or heard of it until I read the instructions, but it was Saturday morning, so oh well, off we went.
Yeah, there you go. And then you got skunked. I
They
saw
were
like
shooting a
100 of
bunch
them.
of geese.
I saw like 100 geese this few days before that.
Yeah.
So there was that. Cool. And then last week we had Bob, the physical. What do they call him? He's not a
Physician's
doctor. He's
assistant.
just not a physician's assistant. Yep.
Yeah.
So Bob, so that was cool.
Bob was
Hopefully
sweet.
everybody enjoyed that one. We're going to bring him back on because he's got a lot of life that he has lived, dude. That dude's 82 years old, man. He's done it. So we'll get him back on for sure, and hopefully we can get a little better sound quality on there. But I think it turned out for the best for what we got. I mean, I'm still waiting for that sponsor so I can get me a mixer. So all you guys listening out there.
Yeah.
And then So looks like you got a new hat. That's cool. I like that color on that hat.
Yeah, this
Looks
was a nice hat. It's a Peterson Plumbing Supply hat here in Richfield. My wife's uncle actually has Peterson Plumbing, where he installs, all the plumbing and air conditioning and stuff like that into your house and fixes, toilets and whatnot. And then his brother has a Peterson Plumbing Supply shop. So he supplies all the pipe, all the sinks, toilets, tubs, faucets, stuff like that. So they kind of work together. So he brought over a couple of hats this week. I think I got a hoodie.
There you go, Peterson Plumbing. You got a shout out because you brought a hat. Free sponsor.
You brought a hat. There you go.
That's how that works.
That's a good Richardson hat, just like you like.
Yeah, Richardson hat. So, hopefully you got me one.
I didn't even know.
I know we got to look. I got to get a couple hats too. I'm gonna get some flapping your gum hats. So I got to hit that guy up. Because I know when we were hunting elk, the boys were talking about hats and stuff too. So we'll look into that. All right. What do you got for us? What do you got going on? You got anything in your notes?
Just what I was looking at the last couple days after you and I were talking on the phone about you started watching The Amazing Race. You let a few episodes build before you start watching your series.
Yeah, so we usually try to get it. We usually try to stack up a couple. I try to do this on everything, really.
Right.
And for the listeners out there, let's get some feedback on that too, because we got some feedback on like the watch like the Netflix series and stuff.
Right. Yes.
But I don't like to start one. Like when 1 and 1 is out, I'm waiting. Because I'm just going to watch the first one and be like, dude, I should have waited until because I like to get into the next one.
You like to binge a little bit, and then maybe not the whole series.
I ain't even got to do all of them. Like if I get 1.5, 1.5 in or something, makes a huge difference than being able just to watch one and be like, oh, that was it. Now I got to wait till the next one.
It's kind of an anticipation deal too. I mean, for the listeners and stuff that like to listen or watch, they'll watch the one episode, then they wait a week, watch another episode. Like I think there's a little bit of an excitement to that next week coming up, and you kind of have a plan of what you're going to do. Like the podcasts and stuff that I've listened to while I'm out driving, and I mean I'm driving for 8 hours a day, so I can get quite a few podcasts in. And some of the podcasts that I started listening to when I first started listening to podcasts, I was like, oh, this is good, and I listened to it, and I'm like, so I would go back down to the bottom and just kind of start at the beginning, and then I was missing all the new stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm missing kind of the current stuff, and by the time I get to it, it's going to be old. So I would listen to, like, I don't know, the last 10, so I was caught up, and they only come out once a week. So then the rest of the week, I'm going back down to the bottom and listening to all the ones that had come years ago. So now, like on most of my podcasts that I've listened to, I'm all caught up on them. They come out on a Monday, one will come out on a Wednesday. So in between, I start looking for new stuff, and I've noticed, like when you had me watching Witcher, was it Witcher? Yeah.
I was on Netflix.
I caught up, but then it was like he had to wait a week, and I got tired of waiting a week, and then I'd find something else I liked, and then I would end up sticking with that and forget about Witcher, and then I'd go back to Witcher, and I'd be like, oh man, I kind of fell out of Witcher. I just couldn't, because I was watching too many other things.
Yeah.
And then I just wasn't present during the Witcher episodes, because I'm like, oh man, I had too much in my brain of other shows that I'd watched.
Yeah, you can't be watching too many at once. See? Yeah. Then you missed out on the good ones.
I do.
Well, this new season's over anyways. So, yeah. So, anyways, so we were talking about, so we were letting that build up. So then it was like, oh, we got a couple, so we had some time, and so we started watching the Amazing Race again. So I think it's like legit. We're gonna for sure gotta put us a film together.
You had a conversation with your wife, didn't you?
And then she said you guys got to do it. She's like, you guys for sure. You guys got to for sure do it. It was just like, because I always joke with her, and I'm like, oh babe, see, we could do. Maybe she goes, no, I'd kill you by the end of it. Like probably it would be nationally televised murder. You know what I mean? So, and then she's like, because then it's like, as soon as it comes into like something high, like some sort of thing that's in the air, and she's like, nope, Not doing it.
No.
Or some nasty bugs or something that was on there that they had to eat.
Oh, pick me.
And she's all, I ain't doing that. I go, oh, Vinny will eat anything. I'm like, dude, that dude smash on that. And she's like, what? I'm like, oh, and that's when she's like, oh, you guys got to do it. Because I even told her, like, if it was us, I'm like, I'll do the high stuff, like whatever's that kind of. She goes, you can't do them all.
Sometimes you can't. Sometimes
I'm like,
you can't.
well, then I'll just pick the high ones, and then whenever there's something else, you got to do it on that other one. But dude, they had this one that was a massage thing. Have you been watching this year's?
I did not start to watch this year's, no, but
I don't know how they do it. So they have to do a massage.
Okay.
Or like you can go and do like a sword fight thing or something. You know, they give you options.
Right.
Like you can go do this one or you can do this one. So the one was I think they're like in Thailand, and it's one of those massages to where they like are pretzeling you up and stuff, and they're just like these little Thailand ladies, you know, they're not anything but I feel like if it was me doing it, like I told Tasha on some of those, I'm like, I don't think that person's physically capable. I mean, I'm sure it's going to hurt, like the stretching and stuff and like the twisting, but some of those where they're grabbing their legs and moving up, I'm like, mine wouldn't do that.
Right.
And that little 90-pound lady is not big enough to do it. So I feel like I'd be okay. Even if she put all of her weight on it. It's only going so far. Like
you just
it ain't happening.
Back off.
Yeah, it ain't happening. Like she's going to get bucked off. Dude, I've had grown men doing it at the chiropractor try to do it, and it knocks them back into the wall, and they're like, dude, we got to bust it up. It's like concrete in there. You know, that's not a good thing.
No,
when your chiropractor's telling
really
you,
tight.
when the chiropractor's telling you got to bust up the concrete so we can get stuff to start moving.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, so then as it went into that, then it was like she was all, and then for you, like as we were talking about, because she's like, I ain't doing it. She goes, you guys should do it, because then that's when I said you'd eat. It was like these they were cooked, so that's a plus.
Whatever.
Even better, you know what I mean?
Bite the
so
head
I was
off
like,
and eat it. No die.
Shoot, I'm like, he'll smash those things down like nothing. Especially since they've been cooked. They're crispy. Yeah, dude, after he watches you eat a Vienna sauce, you can eat anything. Just slinging the gel off of it, dude. So, and then I got to thinking, because they don't get to use, like, maps. I mean, I think they get to use paper maps.
They use maps. Paper maps.
Is when it comes down to that. But they don't get to use, like, the modern, digital stuff.
You can't use
and I was
Google
like,
Maps on your phone.
for sure. Yeah, they don't even get phones.
No.
And so I was like, oh yeah, we could do that. You've been doing map stuff, directions and stuff for your whole career at UPS.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not
20
a bad
whatever
driver.
years. I think the driving part's not it. It's the navigating.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like the person in the back seat telling the person in the front seat
Right.
when and where to go before the time gets there.
Correct.
It seems to be the key.
Yeah.
Because they're like back there trying to figure it out, and the driver's up there freaking out, and they're like, okay, there's all these different signs. Which one? And the driver in the back's like, no, I think it was that one. Well, it's too late. Now you're already well past. And you're like, sometimes you're down in the armpit of the city, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's completely, you lose a ton of time looping back around or trying to find. You don't want to get on a back road and try to find some back street.
No.
To get you up to where you got to go, because there's just
no.
But anyways, so that's where it came down to. So it's on now. So especially doing what we do now, kind of having more of the knowledge of editing and stuff like that, I think we'll be able to do, like you do a video, me do a video. I can splice them together
and do a video like this.
Stuff out. Yeah, and I think especially. Just like me doing an intro and then saying this, and then you do your intro, and then I can put the two together. And we'll talk about that when we go to do it, because it'll be like, I'll say who I am and stuff, and then be like, and this is my brother, and then you will do your intro. Hey, Vinny, and then I can just splice those two together. So yeah, I think it'll be cool. We'll get it sent off, see what they say. I mean, I feel like we're brothers, and they say you have to like know each other. There's all kinds of rules. I started reading through them. That stuff you sent me, which is pretty rad. I mean, it's cool to do.
You got to know each other. You got to banter. You got
for over a year. I was just like, wow, okay.
You got to know
that's
the person for
interesting.
at least a year.
Yeah.
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 And then they don't
Because
let you
they probably
know.
don't want you getting on there and it being all weird. You don't even know the dude,
Well, I
and all of a
think
sudden, like,
that's
you're
probably
fighting each
because
other.
It's like somebody dating, you know? I mean, you may have only started dating this person 6 weeks ago, and then you make the thing, you get picked to get on there. You might not even be together anymore. You might, you might
You're all
still
fighting.
You might be,
Full blown, just.
one might
I
be
hate
married
your
to somebody
face.
else right now, and they're like, oh, hey, I got to go
All
do
this
this
stuff.
amazing race with somebody
Yeah,
else.
dude, they're all dating, but she's still married or something. And it's like, it gets all weird. Finding out all this weird stuff. Yeah, so I think it'll be cool. It'll be all right if we'll kind of be super cool if we put it through there. It works out, dude. Because like Tosh was like, oh man, that'd be awesome seeing your mug on Amazing Race.
We'll have to get some more flapping your gum shirts so we can wear one a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be super cool to just be on there and when we do our little talk, and be like, oh yeah, we do a podcast, Flapping Your Gum with Vinny and Hessey. Just like,
And I think we should
Then it
put that
would
in our
pop
video
off.
too, to give maybe somebody that wants the guys that are picking the cast or whatever. We throw this in there, either put it on paper or put it in our video that we do this. It would give them a little bit more to check
that we're
out.
famous
Our
podcasters.
chemistry. Well, I think our chemistry. I don't know about famous
No, I'm
podcasters.
just like,
I mean, we got
Dude.
like 4 listeners in Singapore. We got 13 in Germany.
yeah, dude,
so
it'd pop off, bro. If you got on Amazing Race and said something about this pod, it would. I mean, at least for at the beginning when everybody got on to
one
check it
episode.
out, just blasted, dude.
they'd be like, let's listen.
No,
now.
it'd be super cool. So we'll look and see what we can do with it. It'd be fun for sure. It'll be fun to do.
No,
Oh yeah.
it was there's a lot of stuff on there, and then once you start filling out the application process, like
Yeah.
you cannot stop. Like it says on here,
That's what it
that
says. You can't even refresh it or
You
nothing.
don't refresh it or anything. You
So
fill
you
out
gotta
the
get- 'cause
information.
it
You
starts
put
you
video
back
in,
over.
yeah, and it goes right over. So
So we can do that, but I was thinking too because I'm gonna really consciously, I'm gonna probably get some like live fire stuff.
oh yeah, and I'll
So
get me
like
sitting in my
when we go
UPS truck, sitting on my ass doing nothing.
Whichever, that's cool too. And I mean, we'll make something cool of it. But like,
Here's your package.
legitimately, because I think I'm gonna like see about. I'll set my phone up for some like gym stuff, like when we're doing some of that fun stuff.
Yeah,
Like when we're all kind of hanging out, not just necessarily just a workout. It's
Right.
boring to watch, but like when we're like our accessory stuff, when we're sitting there doing like those full dip push-ups, and we're all everybody's like hammering out as many as they can.
right. All
and
the
stuff like
banter
that.
that you get in the
Yeah,
gym.
something fun like that, and then so we got a fireman triathlon coming up next week.
Nice.
I think is it this Wednesday?
The 28th.
It's this Wednesday. Yeah,
Oh, this
this Wednesday. So it's one of them. So we don't know what the third one is. It's all has to do with fire stuff, not like a triathlon as in like swimming and biking. This is one that we're doing at our station.
So
And
you're going to be breaking
it
down
has to do
doors.
with-
You're going to be
Yeah, so we have
putting out
we have
fire.
two-man teams. One of them is laddering, so you got to like ladder up a roof. You got to tie off tools, bring them up, lower them, bring the ladder back down. That's a two-man team. That's one of them, and then it's timed and it's judged by like what you're doing to make sure that you're doing it correctly. So it's like points scored and timed and stuff. Then the next one is the entry one, like you're talking about. We got a door.
Breach.
I don't know. Yeah, you're breaching the door, but it's like I can't think of the word. Like prop. So we got this new door prop, dude. It's legit. Like the one we had before, you kind of had to be careful if you were going to break it.
Okay.
Like literally, like the training guy would be like, training officer would be like, all right, just be careful with this door. Like, don't hit it too hard. Don't, you can't kick it. Do this kind of stuff.
Was it old?
Yeah, it was older, but it just wasn't. I just don't think it was. I mean, you get what you pay for.
Gotcha.
When it comes to that kind of stuff. And sometimes in fire is you pay for because it says fire on it. But is that moonshine?
Yes, sir.
Oh my,
Old Smoky
Mr.
Tennessee moonshine.
Smoky,
Old Smoky.
Old
Tennessee
Smoky.
It's completely chock full of pineapples, so I don't know how much liquid I'm getting out of this thing.
They upside down?
It's big pineapple chunks, like a whole bunch of pineapple
Upside down
chunks.
pineapple? Just in case anybody's listening, Vinny's got upside down pineapple, Old Smoky.
So yeah, it's not bad.
But yeah, so this next prop we got, like, dude, it's full on. Like, you can sound it with the entry tool.
Okay.
I mean, you can beat the hell out of this door, pry on it. But so I wanted to try to kick it because they basically you slide the boards and you just put wood behind the door, and that's what you're trying to pry on and break loose. So it's acting as if it was like latched.
Are they like 2x4s?
You put like 1x1s, and then you can put like 2 of them. You can do the top. You can do 3 spots, but we were just doing the middle. But you put like a 1x2 and then like a 2x2, and then you put a wedge in it, and it like braces it.
Wow.
So it's full on. Like you're taking the entry tool, and you got your other guy. You tell him strike is 1, drive. He'll just keep driving, keep hammering it, bam. And then you tell him to.
Is there any guts
hold.
in the door handle itself, or would that just break the frame? So you guys, it's just all the wood. So there's no.
The door is metal.
Latch, but there's no latch.
The door's
in
all
the
metal.
frame?
No latch. No.
Oh, okay.
Because you're basically the wood behind it would be considered the latch holding.
Gotcha.
And you're prying, and you got to pry and break that loose.
Gotcha.
So I want to try to kick it because I was like, there's nothing cooler than kicking open a door.
Have you started taking kickboxing lessons or anything? Karate?
No, I have not done
Taekwondo?
karate. No? I did get into a karate stance. Dude. So it's not bolted to the ground because we do move it. It is you can bolt it to the ground. So I had a couple of firefighters got on it, stood on the one side, and then my partner was standing on the other side so I could kick it. And it was still I was kicking it hard enough it was causing the whole door, like the whole thing to move. And then
So will it be bolted down for the competition?
No, you can't kick it open, dude. There's no way. It didn't even budge.
Moving. I mean, it's taken away some.
If it wasn't moving, it still would. Dude, it would have just. I mean, it lifted Nate up on his side. He's like, dude, it was lifting this whole side. Yeah, you'd shatter a knee or something. It's a solid door, bro. I mean, you're taking like an entry tool, which has like a spike or like a duck bill, they call it on there, that you wedge in there, and you can shove that thing in there and wrench, and that door doesn't. It don't do it unless you do it right. You know what I mean? Unless you set the tool, stick a wedge in, make progress, save your progress, and get after it. So it's cool, and so we're gonna do that. That's the second part of the triathlon, and the third one we don't know what it will be. So it's just a surprise.
It'd be how you roll up your hose.
Could be how to handle your hose. I don't know what it'll be. So hopefully it's something physical again. I like that part of it. So
see, and I've always thought UPS should have done something like that. I mean, I think it was on King Queens when they had their driving competition. Like, you load the boxes, you have to drive down the block and, make a correct turn, do all this kind of stuff, and do that kind of thing. I think it would be kind of cool to, like, you're doing it with other fire departments. It's a competition between fire departments. Like, we could do UPS, FedEx, DHL, Amazon, whatever's around. But I think they should do some type of, kind of competition. Like you said, it'd be points for proper lifting. It would be, getting in and out of the truck properly, backing, turning, parking, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, they'll never do it because they don't want
that would be cool because we do driving ones, like inner station, like just with us, and we'll do it. And like, so you take and you get in the truck, and you got to drive through an obstacle course that's set up with cones.
Perfect.
And so you can't hit a cone. And you have to like run through this one like figure 8 forward, and then you got to figure 8 backwards without hitting the cone.
I've seen that on The Amazing Race with the double-decker bus.
Yeah. Huh? So we're doing it in a big 5-passenger fire truck.
Yeah. See?
And then you got to whip up to one. You got to back up like you're backing up to like a dock. But you can't hit the cone. You got to get close to it, and then you stop. And it's like how many you have to be within a certain amount of feet of it, or you'll get docked a point. And then another one is you got to pull all the way into this square, and then you can only back up one time, and then you got to make it back out of the opening. And so you have to like pick your angle just right. And then one of them, after you go through it, you loop around and you got to go through a cone at like, you have to be exceeding 10 miles an hour. And the cones are set up and they're only like 6 inches wider than the truck.
Oof.
So you have like 3 inches on each side.
And you're making a turn doing this at the same time?
No, this one you got to barrel through and you got to stay above 10 miles an hour and blast through the cones without
just send it.
hitting a cone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've done that out there a couple times. So that's pretty cool. That's when we're doing like our F endorsement stuff. We kind of just get into that part of it.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get some video of that. I want to do the door breaching thing. So I'll set it up or have one of the guys video it and see about cutting some video out of that stuff. But I want to get a live one, like going to tell them I'm just gonna video. And so
well, don't you guys have one of those fire trailers? You know that they you have to sit
we have
in
a burn
it.
prop. Yeah, burn trailer. Yeah, my phone would melt.
Well, oh yeah, that's true. You can just show you.
I don't think iPhone. I mean, maybe iPhone will give me a new one. I'll be like, bro, they lost this in a fire. But I feel like they wouldn't give it to me because they'd be like, that was a burn trailer, bro. Was that a burn trailer? If it was like a real fire, I'd be like, hey, I was in here saving lives, so can you give me a new phone? But I think in a real fire, I can, the attack team go in, and then I will come in after, like, behind them on the tail end and get some video and then shove it back into my turnouts. But it depends. What happens is if it's a big fire and it's raging, I'm on the nozzle.
Yeah, you're from
so there's no way. Yeah, there's no way I could do it. If I had like a GoPro that I could hook onto my helmet or something,
still melt that thing too, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, it just depends. Yeah. I mean, it depends. I think like my phone.
You don't. You're saving lives and saving stuff. You don't need to worry about your phone.
Correct. So if I was off, if it was something that wasn't like a garage fire or something.
Yeah.
And we had to go in to get to like the back room or something like that, then I would like give up the nozzle and let like a yearling or somebody else take the nozzle and that group go in, and I would just tail in behind them and get some cool video, of it. Or somebody else videoing as we go in would be cool.
Well, the one thing I saw
I might be able to set that up.
They don't let people know until June to September if they've made it on the show, and they start reporting mid-October.
Yeah.
And with our vacation schedule, it's like I have to put in my vacations in January. So
I feel like I feel like you could probably work something out, right? Like switch with somebody.
I could switch with people, but you know what October and November is, right? It's all freaking hunts around.
Well, that's when they start. That's hunting, yeah. But you just got to switch with somebody who's not hunting.
Well, we'll work it out.
We got to make it happen, dude. Quit your damn job. Just have to quit.
Just have to quit.
FMLA or something. I feel like they should be pretty cool about it. You're like, look, I made Amazing Race, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big deal.
Know. It is a big deal.
I know mine will.
Probably a lot of hoops to jump through, but
we'll make it happen, dude. No matter. I mean, I don't have to get a different partner.
What about your week? We didn't even talk about your week. Like what you had.
I don't have any. My week's normal.
You went on a couple fires this week, or some stuff, didn't you? You had a couple calls.
Yeah, I made a couple of just regular fire calls. Other than that,
accidents, you have to pry some people out.
Well, the accident, we don't really go into that one. That one wasn't very pleasant.
It's not.
So we'll leave that one. We'll leave that one alone.
I got you.
It is, but you don't have to let everybody else know about it. Yeah, it's when you lose people on those ones, it's never any fun.
No.
But
that's
so okay, so I did. Yeah, so I put some stuff down. Dude, do you have a bedtime routine? I want to talk about bedtime routines.
Bedtime? Huh? I get my blanket, drink my warm milk, and go to bed.
Your blankie and some warm milk?
My blankie.
I did get my blankie and my warm milk. So, do you think you don't have no bedtime routine?
I stay up.
I mean, I'm not saying like weekends, because I know like on weekends you get tie you and fall asleep with chew in your mouth and wake up in the middle of the night.
I just stay up. Like Friday night, I stayed up till 1 o'clock, and then we got up at 5:45 to go duck hunting. But I was just watching Instagram and TikTok. It just got stuck on my phone, and then it was like I got to, and I had to physically force myself to shut it off to go to bed. But for the week, it depends. Like I get home, I shower, I eat. Emily and I watch a show, maybe 1 or 2 episodes. 10:30 comes around. I just roll over, and that's it. That's I try to go
narc
about
out.
10:30.
Vinny narcs out too. If anybody's for our listeners, Vinny, when it is time to shut her down for sleepy, Vinny narcs out. Like he's gone.
Little Kev says we all do it, and me, you, and brother Kevin do it. When we went on that man trip, we were having that conversation when we stayed in that cabin. And me, you, and brother Kevin were in the one room, and we shoved little Kev in that little kitchen area. He says we were having a conversation. Like I was talking. And then I was waiting for you guys to reply, and all I heard was snoring. He's like, you guys just,
yeah, it's time.
We did it in the trailer the night before we left, because it was, I think, Brother Kevin, myself, and Little Kev were out in your trailer, and Mom and Dad were in the guest room when we all first got there that night.
Toy hauler. Yeah.
Little Kev said we did the same thing. He's like, you were like, blah, blah, blah. And I went to answer you, and then you were out. Nothing. I got nothing. You start snoring. There was nothing from you. He's like, you were there, and then you weren't.
Yeah, I probably. I mean, staying in little bungalows in Poinsettia. Yeah, I could see that. We'd probably be passing out. But like when we've been hunting, you were that way, dude. Like you'll just be sitting and look over, and it's just we haven't even gone to bed yet. You're sitting in the chair. Remember at the hotel when we were hunting, like you were just holding a conversation. Lee, Walker was on that one. No, it was Lee. It was Lee. We were sitting out in the living room.
I can't remember if it was Walker.
2 times it's happened.
It's happened every time.
I think you fallen asleep in that chair both times. Same chair.
Same chair.
Remember we stayed in that with Walker the one time. Yeah. And then we stayed in it with Lee because we had stayed with Walker. We're like, oh, this is a perfect thing to do.
For 3
guys. Walker wasn't going, so then it was Lee. And we were sitting out there in the kitchen, lights on, everything. Remember, we were getting stuff ready for the next day, and you were sitting in the chair. Yeah, you had the remote in your hand. And we look over, and you're just gonzo, still holding the remote. And I was like, what the?
Yeah.
But then I think, after 15 minutes later, you woke up, got up, and was like,
yeah. I was good to go.
We've gone in there and eaten some Twizzlers or something, bro. We're just getting.
Gotta eat, keep away.
We
do it. I do it on the stands too. We could be out there coyote hunting. Be there for 5-10 minutes, and all 3 of us are sitting there just doing coyote calls. And you look over, and I'm just asleep.
I think I have pictures of you sleeping over there.
Of course.
You just get tired, sleepy.
I'm old.
I have a bedtime. I feel like I have a routine for bed. I don't know, maybe a routine for everything, but
I was gonna say you have a routine for everything.
I think most people do. I feel like.
I don't think so.
So
psychos.
Well, let's see. Psychos. Yeah, serial killers have routines. So. Well, let's hear from you guys, the listeners. Hit us up. Let us know, because
Hessey's got a routine on Sunday. He food preps this entire week. He knows what he's eating every single day. He knows how many, how he micro.
Macros.
What is it called? Your macros. Yeah, you know your macros.
Count my macros.
Count your macros. You record it in your phone. You get off work. You go home. Bathroom. Change your clothes. Go to the gym. You know what time you're getting done from the gym. Yeah, that's a routine. You have a routine, a daily routine.
That's pretty routine. If you were a sniper, you could definitely take me out, quick style. You know right where I was going to be every time. I might have to start switching it up.
Call him for one day, and he'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, be easy. Just going on by, dude. I'm like an old bull, dude. Just same path, same thing.
The only thing that changes
but for bedtime routine. Or a fire call if I get caught on fire.
Yeah, fire call will throw a sniper
those
off.
Usually those will mix it up a little bit, yeah. But because I do my bedtime, we do dinner and all that stuff, and then I do a protein shake, around 7:30, and then I'll hang out or whatever we may be doing, and then because if we go dinner, once dinner hits, then it's like pretty regiment. You know what I mean? So it's like dinner, and we do our family scripture reading, and then it's like we'll hang out, watch some TV or whatever. Alexa will go and start taking her shower, and then I'll make my protein shake up, and then I'll go and shower and stuff like that, and then we go hang out about 8 o'clock or whatever, and we'll watch whatever like this, like say Amazing Race. So we watched Amazing Race, and then Alexa goes to bed about 8:30, and she'll leave like our room. She doesn't have to go to sleep. Like she's just not on TV. Like her electronics are shut off at 7:30,
Right.
and then she can watch TV with us if she wants to or whatever. But then once 8:30 to 9, because now she's at the age she thinks she should stay up till 9
Of course.
for whatever. It's like negotiating with a terrorist when
It
you try
is.
to get. Dude, it's insane.
But
So at least I'm like, okay, no electronics. I don't care. Like it's 8:30. Go into your room if you want to color, read a book, write, whatever it may be that you want to do. You have till 9.
wind down.
And then
Wind down.
yeah, I'm like you need to brain it down. So that's basically what we do every night. So I just didn't know
And
like
she goes
what
to bed at,
bedtime
like 9,
routines.
then you're up till when?
So Tasha usually falls asleep shortly after 9. She'll sit there like she thinks she's gonna stay awake. She has her glasses on, and all of a sudden she twitches, and I'll look over, and she's like laying there with her glasses on, and I'm like, "Take your glasses off." No. Okay. I'm like, I don't even know why you even try to keep them on.
It's like I'm
"You're gonna stay
watching this
awake."
with you. I'm watching
Yeah.
it with you. I'm awake.
She's like, "I'm
No, you're not.
listening.
I'm
I'm
listening.
listening to it."
I get that too. I can hear it.
I'm like,
Like,
you
I'll
ain't
make
hearing
comments.
shit.
We're watching a show, and I'm like, "Oh, did you know that guy did that?" And she's like, "Yeah, I knew he, yeah." And she's like facing the wall. She's not even facing the TV.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
propped up
No,
on
it's-
3 pillows. I'm
Tasha
like,
don't even try to act like I'm like, "Oh, did you see that?" And I look over and she's just out,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm just like, "Babe, take your glasses off." Oh gosh, I don't know. I was
sometimes
gonna try
Emily
to
will
watch
say,
it.
she'll talk. She'll say something about what was just said. She didn't see any of it. She just heard it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
So
we're
she really
watching.
does listen. Tasha
is
just says, "Oh, I was listening to it," but she wasn't, because
Well,
when I could feel her twitch, I know she ain't hearing shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Whoa."
Emily listens for the first 5
Something.
minutes, and then I'll say something 10
Yeah.
minutes later, and it's like I get no response. I'm like, well,
Or when I'm looking through it, if I'm sitting there looking through, like, to look for a show, and I'm like, "Babe, what do you want to watch?" And then I'll be like, "I don't even know why I asked you that." She's like, "Watch whatever you want. I'm going to be asleep here in a minute anyway." The
Emily says the
clicking
same
makes
thing.
me fall asleep. I'm like,
she throws the
perfect.
remote at me. She's like, watch whatever you want to watch. I'm not staying awake. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah. So, but I'm usually in bed. I try not to stay up past 10.
Mm.
So sometimes when I got to go into that next episode, I'll be a little after, but usually it's like 10 after, 10:15. Yeah. Yeah, because then I'll usually I'll get up and take a piss before I get back into bed, so I don't do it in the night.
Right.
But yeah,
At
I've been
10:15,
working.
I'm debating on whether watching another one.
Yeah, no, shutting her down. And I usually my goal is now to go to bed. Recently, it has been last couple weeks before 10, and so I feel like that's helped
Like,
in
shut
my
everything off.
recovery.
Actually, close your
Yeah.
eyes and go to sleep.
Like 9:44, and I'm like, oh, turn it off, or whatever it may be. Just because it seems to be helping with my recovery and stuff like that. So
Well, let me tell you
I
what
like
my wife
that.
does. This one, I just thought of it while you were talking about it. It's a little frustrating. So she'll do that. She'll say, "Hey, pick something you want to watch. I'm going to fall asleep." So I pick, I start watching something, whatever it is. I usually try to pick some action one, because I know she doesn't like watching it. So I'll watch it by myself.
yeah, or some dumb one.
Dumb one. Yeah, like Skyscraper.
Yeah, I'll watch some. Yeah, no, yeah, that too. I wouldn't watch that anyways. Even if, you shouldn't watch that by
Yeah,
yourself.
or like some.
No, it'd be because she doesn't like Will
comedy
Ferrell.
made.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
doesn't like
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
Ferrell, so I'll be like, oh, I'll watch Step Brothers or
Right.
other guys, something
Right.
of that sort.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it'll be
I
something
gotcha.
like that, and then she'll be asleep. I'll say something. I know she's asleep, whatever, and then as soon as I'm like, all right, it's 10:45. Like I got to shut it down. I shut it off, and as soon as I turn it off, I do the same thing. I go to the bathroom. I come back out. I shut it off after, because if I shut it off, then it's really quiet. I'm trying not to wake her up. So I go to the bathroom. I get back in bed, I shut it off, and then she's up. She's up. She goes to the bathroom. She comes back in, and she'll turn something on and set the timer on the TV for 30 minutes. And then I'm ready to just be pitch black, go to sleep, and the volume's on 4. And I'm like, and I'm tossing, I'm turning, and now I'm listening to whatever she's watching, 90 Day Fiance or whatever she's watching, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, I turned it off for a reason because it shuts me down. Like, if something's on, I have a hard time, and that's just me personally. Like, I don't know if there's a lot of people that do it, but if something's on, like, I listen, and then if it sounds interesting, I'll, like, roll over on my side, and I'll just sit there and watch it. And
yeah,
then,
or you'll peek. You're like falling asleep in some cabin, you'll be like,
yeah. And then
you'll
I'm
look
out
at
of
the
sleep.
TV. Well, they've proven, like, scientifically wise or whatever you want to call it, like having a TV on at night. You know, some people are like, I can't sleep unless I have the TV on. It's like, no, that's not a thing. That's like exact opposite of what you want to be doing. Because there's like action, like with the lights and the changing, even with your eyelids closed. So it like jacks up your REM sleep and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because REM sleep is rapid eye movement, and that's what you get. Basically, it has to do with like when you're sleeping, you want to have rapid eye movement, REM sleep. It means your body is processing what you have gone through in the day, I guess, is what scientists look at it as. So like you're tracking that kind of stuff. So you have deep sleep, REM sleep, light sleep.
Yeah.
And so like with your TV or with a TV on or anything like that you'll always be in like that light sleep.
Right.
So your body will never go into like full recovery and you don't have REM. But it's weird that she wakes up, that's got to be 11 o'clock at night.
Pretty close. It's pretty close.
And then she runs it for a half hour.
And then just hits she'll fall asleep. But then if I turn it off,
so now you're sitting there watching it. She's over there sleeping.
Yeah. So I was trying to go to sleep. I'm like, come on. And then like you said, the lights are flashing. Something moves, you know.
Yeah.
And it just makes you kind of jumpy a little bit and stuff like that. And it's like, okay. And then you kind of wake up a little bit, and then you start listening, and then you're like, okay. And then you're picturing it in your head. I mean, I've seen the shows that she's watched. She'll do Bounty Hunter, you know, with Gerald Butler and Jennifer Aniston. She'll just turn it on, hit 30 minutes, and I've listened to the first 30 minutes of Bounty Hunter for probably 15 times. And I'm
you're like, I could give it word verbatim, huh?
Can you just start it somewhere else? Like, start it farther into the show.
Skip it a couple chapters up there and let's start this over.
But it's just one of those, and it sometimes I can fall asleep and it doesn't bother me, but there's quite a few times that and then I can feel the heat in my body just start to like overtake me, and I'm like, I can't get comfortable, and I was comfortable when I started.
Yeah, because your house is like 80 degrees.
Yeah. But I would think that, so white noise, when people listen to white noise, does that not do the same thing? I guess there's no light flashing.
Correct. Yeah. So basically, that puts your like, I don't know how I explain it is like tonic. Puts your mind puts you in like a tonic state.
Oh, okay.
So there's that
kind of
there's like that's where they find those noises. That's why they call it white noise. Now they have like green noise or something. So it's like a natural.
Is that weed?
Left-handed noise. No, I think it's called green noise because it's more like it's nature. The nature noise type stuff. But that's a noise. So it's like almost kind of like how a ceiling fan works. It's a constant noise that stays the same. It has the same noise throughout the whole time.
Same volume, same pitch.
So it basically hides away from. I don't know what thing. I don't know. I read a thing. It's like the shock noise. So an abrupt noise. So when your house is dead quiet, right? Say it's super quiet, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, say you had a cat or animal or dog or something,
or a robber,
they scratch something or tip something. Something gets tipped or something small. Even a dishwasher, dead silent, right? And then that door flaps open to let the soap out.
Right.
Makes that smack noise. It may not even be that loud, but you have no noise, and then all of a sudden, clack. There's that noise, wakes you up. So what they do with that one is like you have like a white noise that just puts your mind in that sense, like a ceiling fan or whatever, maybe humidifier, I don't know, whatever you use. See, there's like a constant noise that doesn't change, tone or pitch. No, robber coming in, that you can still have your white noise going because that is a different sound that's coming over it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that kind of stuff. But so yeah, I don't like Lee. Lee sleeps with white noise. Like whenever we go camping or hunting or overnight or whatever like that, he'll throw his headphones in and listens to white noise.
Sweet. Next time we're on a
Did
hunt,
you-
I'm gonna take his phone.
Did you see that?
Metallica. I didn't pay
Did
attention.
you didn't notice that? No.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, he'll lay there with his
We can
headphones
switch it
in.
over
Did
to Disturbed or Metallica or Korn.
just
Can we-
us ripping ass is what it should be.
Just make a
He'll
recording.
just, he just, dude.
He's listening
He
to
go,
white noise.
but well, no, because we're gonna sub it in there, dude. Like all of a sudden,
I mean,
it's gonna, we'll,
like, yeah.
we'll take his phone and just plug it into ours with a big old fart noise. Just go,
Oh man.
just start messing with him. I got another one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Craziest thing you've ever seen on your job. I don't know. I don't even know if this is a thing or not. I don't know if you have crazy stuff that happens because I know like a lot of the time you're running stuff up and like dropping it off, hitting the doorbell and leaving. You know, so I mean, there's some interaction. I know that, but I don't know like if you ever had some crazy.
Gosh. The longer you talk, the more
You come
ones
up with them?
I keep thinking of.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's I don't know if I've ever talked about the package that I had that the bottom came out of it while I was taking it off the shelf. I think I did. I think I talked about that in one of our episodes. The lady, that I delivered to, she did those slumber parties, where they have a party. It's like a Tupperware party, but you buy adult products. They have a whole bunch of women. They buy adult products.
Yeah,
for
like
their-
sexual toys,
Yeah. Well, it's not.
lingerie.
Just, I mean, there's toys and clothes and and stuff. like that.
Lingerie,
The whole bottom
yeah.
of it just fell out, and I was just like, I was pretty shocked. I don't know how long I'd worked at UPS. It wasn't that long, but I never really thought about a lot of the stuff that we delivered until the bottom of that thing fell out, and I was just. I hurried, flipped it over. I was in a panic. I threw it all back in the box. I taped it up so it looked like it never came open. Delivered the
Yeah.
package, and off I went.
Well, at least something like that though it was new.
It was new, yeah.
Imagine
I've
if
had
it wasn't. Oh boy.
eBay, eBay used stuff. Wow.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
just shipping it to you're
Oh.
moving, so you're shipping
Yeah,
it, or
yeah,
you're in the you're in the service or whatever, so you're
Why is this box vibrating?
yeah, dude, make sure you take the batteries out.
I had another one where a customer did not get the pack. I was on vacation. The driver misdelivered a package, so I had to take the paper to the house that it was supposed to go to so they could sign saying they never received this package. And the description on there was also adult toys. And it was very awkward to be like, hey, did you have this package that you didn't receive and it had, this stuff in it? And I just had to show them the paper. Like, I didn't read it out loud. And it was a pretty scary situation of the person that was signing. I was like, boo-hoo. Like,
So you were you had to do it in person.
yeah, I had to go knock on the door and say, hey,
You swing it open, and here's their little 4-year-old daughter. You're like,
No, not on this one. This one, that
we're
was
going
the
to.
actual
This is the
adult.
wrong address.
It was the adult. They just
Mom
left it.
home?
The driver left it in a different apartment. The receiver never got it. Whoever
Oh, I bet not.
opened that package was probably pretty surprised that they got what they got.
Either surprised or excited
Both.
because they didn't turn it back in.
Well, no, they didn't turn it
They
in, and
kept
they got
it.
some brand new products.
Yeah.
I have had a lady in her towel before come to the door, but that was as far as that ever went. I mean, that's kind of, I don't know if it's a delivery man's dream, but you always have those stories from other older drivers that are like, oh, I went to this house, and they came to the door wearing either nothing or they had a towel and all that kind of stuff. That's happened once. I
It
did
seems
go-
random that somebody would enter the door stark naked.
Yeah, I remember this
Seems like a
house.
tall
It didn't
tale.
have a number on the house. The package I had, the numbers really didn't line up. Like, they were close, but there was no number on the house. That's why if she had the number on the house, I would have just left it and been gone. Like, there would have been no
Yeah.
question. But there was a business on one side house on the other side, and then like the number was just off of what it should be, like. So I just knocked to make sure I was leaving it at the right house, so I didn't misdeliver a package. And she answered the door in her towel that way. And
Well,
then
that I could see, but I'm saying stark. It was totally naked. Seems.
yeah, I've never had that, but
Oh, I
I've
thought
heard
you said you
drivers
heard a
have
story.
had.
Really?
Drivers have, yeah.
I feel like that
Yeah.
might be a little bit made up.
It's possible. It's
Because
possible.
I mean, who's gonna legitimately just go to the door and be like, swing it open, and be like, oh, it's sorry, UPS guy, I'm standing here totally naked. I thought you would already have walked away. I don't know. He's still who answers the door.
I don't
Random.
know. Unless it's a challenge, I don't know. I've seen
That's-
stuff where there's challenges
I mean,
now.
I feel like
and
that's the newer stuff.
people have to get into weird things to get turned on now. So, but then
True.
I did deliver to a house that had a big window at the door, and the husband must have come home for lunch, and there was a
Got a
nooner going
nooner?
on. They were having a nooner on the couch.
Nooner.
Didn't close the blinds.
So, but that's different. That's just catch. That is crazy to see, but you're just like that's inside. You're like, whoa, hey, close the
I'm
blinds.
walking up
Yikes.
the porch. I'm looking right at the big window, and there's just. I'm like, oh, put the package down.
Yeah.
I knocked on the door. I'm pretty sure it was pretty shocking to them when they got a knock on the door. But I just knocked on the door, turned around, and walked away. But
Yeah. Well, they don't probably expect somebody to come by at noon.
well, I mean, if you're ordering
But
packages
here you
all the
go.
time, you
Yeah.
should probably.
Should be ready. So I had one. It's since you're talking about like that last one you were just talking about. When I worked for the cable company,
Right.
I went into a house and there was this attractive young female there, and then her friend, and
Right.
so they were like, "Oh hey, blah blah." I was like, "Cool," and it was like they had roommates. They lived in a house. It was like a rental, and I'm sitting there. And so I go outside, I'm getting the stuff hooked up, and I come back inside, and I'm testing it out because you got to hook your meter up or whatever and test this stuff. And you can hear in this room, it's down the hall, and it's just like, it's full on banging is going
Okay.
on. And I mean, it's like, now it's getting intense because like I'm trying to avoid basically this awkwardness that's starting to fill the living room because
Right.
here's these two girls sitting here. Here's me as a cable guy, and you just hear it just, and it's like slapping, like it's in the wall right next to us. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like across the way, and then it's getting louder, and it's just getting
And these
It's
people
getting
don't know that there's a
intense.
cable guy in the house.
the ones that are in the back. No, I've
Right.
not ever seen them. So
Right.
they were not there. They were back in the room when I originally appeared for the
Right.
appointment.
And
And
obviously,
then
they don't care about their roommates either.
Not at all. I'm sure it's they didn't. Those she just looked at me and goes, "I'm so sorry." Like she was just like appalled by it. She's just like,
Happens often.
"I'm so sorry," and it's just,
Yeah.
and I mean, like it's full,
Got
but
it.
it's not like I've ever heard. I mean, it's getting seriously. I'm
Right.
just like, oh my, like they're getting after it, almost to where I thought it can't even be real.
Right. They got the volume
You
turned
know
up
what I
on the
mean?
TV.
Like, yeah, and then,
Yeah.
but it was not. So this is where it gets you on the. I'm out there doing the stuff, and I come back, and it's two chicks,
Well, there you go.
and I was just like, "What? Okay, well, there we go." That she
Living
was
their
just
best life.
strapped it on and was like getting after it, dude, or whatever. But yeah, so that was a weird one in that room, and then just, I mean, I've had some like crazy stuff like that, but just that was one of the crazier ones. But I was just wondering, like with UPS, because like now the job I'm at now, there's not real crazy. I mean, when I go in the jail, but I had to go through like a whole class and sign a paper and stuff says I can't talk about what you see that happens in the jail, and so, but we had some crazy stuff like that. But with like the charter one. Like even then, I never had anybody like come up to the door naked.
Yeah.
Of course, like the towel stuff, yeah, early morning stuff, night gowns.
Right.
You catch a peek here and there, and different stuff showing or flopping out, or different body parts like that. But yeah, I just was wondering, like with the UPS, because I just didn't know. I mean, you do get some of the sometimes you're with the people, but most of the time I feel like yours would be seen from driving around, but I guess because you're going to the same place, you probably, like, once you get your route or your routine going, you don't get odd stuff going on.
I've called the cops a couple times.
Okay.
Because, I mean, like, I'm in a town for 5 years, you know what I mean? Like, I get to know the people. I feel like I'm friends with the people. Like, I have a working relationship with a lot of the people that I deliver to.
Yeah.
And even some of them, I give my phone number to I call them customers, you know, because if they need a package, they're heading out of town, they want to come pick something up.
Yeah, so for the listeners, Vinny's our UPS guy, and he is, so him and I used to be on the phone a ton. Not so much now because we try to save it for podcasting.
Right.
You're welcome. But
yeah.
We still are, and Vinny is, I would have to say, probably one of the best UPS drivers. Not that I'm biased, because I would, if you were crap, I would tell you were crap. But he really is good, and people really do like him, and they like him as a UPS driver. Because, like, for you, like, you do take pride in what you're doing, and you do care, which is huge for that. Like, that doesn't happen with, especially like with UPS, because there's like that disconnect of that. But you build like that friend. I mean, I just remember like being on the phone with you, and people give you food, and this isn't even during holiday. Like, they give you like treats, thank you cards with like a little goodie basket. The Mexican guys used to go to dinner and always giving you burritos and stuff when they were cooking tamales or whatever they were doing, and they'd always offer you them up at that shop or whatever you used to go to. But you know, like that, just normal stuff, like that, giving your phone number out so that people can call you. But it also worked out for you sometimes too, because they'd be like, "Hey, I'll just meet you down here."
Correct.
And give me your package, so you don't have to drive all this far. But it was a give and take. So yeah, I just want to throw out, because I think that's from the times I've been on the phone with you in the years that you've been UPS, and like, you legitimately, your customers, like you say, because they are.
Correct.
You know, you do a good service for them. So my hat's off to you. Kudos, bro.
So like I said, like there was a car parked next to this gentleman's house in the town I used to deliver to, and it was just weird. Like, the guy was sitting there, he was like taking pictures over the fence. You know, it was like he was just like holding his hands up like over the fence and just like snapping pictures. And and I had his number, and I called him, and I says, "Hey," I said, "I just want to let you know, like 5 minutes ago, I just drove away from your house. There's a guy parked on the north side of your house. He's reaching his arms up over the fence. He's like taking pictures, and I know this guy has a teenage-ish daughter. She worked at a different store. So I knew that. And I had a son. He had a welding shop, stuff like that. And I was just like, that was just weird. You know what I mean? Like, the guy wasn't home. Like, I could tell that nobody was home. Usually his gate's open or his shop door's open, stuff like that. And it just didn't feel like anybody was home. And this guy's just taking pictures, like, over the fence and kind of just sitting there, and then pulled up in front of the house and then drove back over to the side and was taking pictures. And I called him up and told him what was going on. And he was like, well, I appreciate you calling me. Like, that's pretty cool, whatever. But he's like, yeah, they're doing, they're what is it called when you, property value and stuff like that, when you get
appraisal.
Yeah,
an appraisal.
Because it might be the appraisal guy, and that was
Appraiser.
it. But I've taken, like, there was a dog a few blocks away. Like, I knew where this dog lived, and I knew how far away it was from home. Loaded it up in the truck, drove back to the house where it belongs, let it out. Its paws were all chewed up and stuff because they've been running down the asphalt and stuff like that. But
it was a hot.
Yeah.
See, that's cool. Yeah, that's totally cool. I love that. But
So
that's what I mean. Like, I was just wondering on that. That's cool. Those are some good stories, though. I like them. There's people that are weird, which is whatever. But then also I found, like, when I worked for the cable company, when you're going into other people's houses, they are very comfortable because you're in their house, I guess. So there's like, so if they're lazy, they're lazy. If the house is dirty, it's dirty. If they're
nudists, they're nudists.
If they're sexually inclined to do or say what some of the stuff that had gotten said to me, and I've been to ones where there was like 4 women, older women in there drinking, asked me when I get off when I'm gonna if I want some. I think start Kahlua or something. I think it was
Kahlua.
Something Kahlua. Yeah, some they were doing shots of that, and they were getting into the wine, and I felt like a piece of meat. Like the comments, and I mean it was hilarious, and it was fine. I'm like whatever, but you're like in this house. It was like I don't even know, Desperate Housewives of Fallon, dude, or something. It was just because they were like very well dressed. It was a nice house. They got wine out and they got this stuff out. It's like they're classy looking ladies, and then they're
it's noon,
just hitting it. Yeah, it was like 2:30 in the afternoon. And they're like, "What time you get off?" And I'm like, "I got 2 more jobs to go to." Oh yeah, you could have done a shot. I'm like, "No, I'm good." All right, so I got another one before we got to shut this down. 2 things. I'm dropping it in here on this one. We're going to put it in. Vinny went through the burger machine. Mm-hmm. So he sent me some pictures. We talked about it a few episodes ago. I couldn't tell you exactly when. Quite a few episodes ago. But we talked about this burger machine that you can take the patty, you throw it in there, and it cooks. And it's a phenomenal made thing. I wish we had one here in Fallon because I would eat the shit out of it, dude. Not even got to be stoned and I eat the shit out of it. But it's a flame broiled burger that you get to make on your own, and it's for whatever reason it's phenomenal. I mean, I think it's just because it's your own hands. You know exactly what it's done, and you can put everything that you want on it. You know what I mean? It's not like you go into like Burger King and you order it and then they do it and then it just comes out to you. You get to like, I think it's the process of it, and then it is good, dude. So Vinny sent me some pictures and a couple videos, and I'm gonna drop them in on here. So if you're listening, just jump over, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Flapping Your Gums, and you can check out this machine, dude, because it's legit. So I wanted to stub that in real quick because I know you'd sent that stuff over, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm definitely gonna drop that in."
I had Emily record it just so I could send it to you. Like I'm like, babe, you gotta record.
Well, because the one you're doing, you recorded all the stuff, and then I saw you. Yeah, one of them where you dropping it on there so they could see like it's sitting up on the you and Cannon are standing there. But yeah, so I'll drop those in there. You guys can see what we're talking about, and just know when you look at it, just don't get weirded out about it and be like, "What?"
And then comment on YouTube. That's the only way you're going to get a shout out is if you comment on YouTube.
Yeah, or email.
Email at what?
You can email at Yahoo or flappingyourgums@yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com, that's right.
Yeah, so you can email, and then we'll give you a shout out. We want comments and questions like that. Way we'll bring you into the episode and we can talk about it. So if you have any questions about us, things that we've done, things that we would do, what you think. I mean, if we want a guest, like hit us up about someone you think we should bring on or somebody we brought on. But yeah, like, I feel like when you listen to other ones where people do comment, like it helps us out too. If people come on with some stuff and be like, "Hey, what about this?" or "Would we do this?" or whatever. Because like my next question, I'm gonna ask Vinny, like on this, there's kind of like people have bucket lists. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have a bucket list. I know we've talked about it like in hunting and stuff like that. But my question for you before we shut this down, because I was thinking about it, would you swim with sharks?
Yes.
Uncaged?
Sure.
Okay. That's simple.
We're not doing like great whites or anything, right? I mean, like you're.
Well, I don't know, dude. I don't know what sharks can show up. They're chumming.
I mean,
when they're chumming, it might be a great white. I don't even know, dude.
Don't do chum. That's stupid.
Dude, they got to chum to get them.
Well, I mean, when you go to places to swim with sharks, quote unquote, uncaged, I mean, you're usually going like Hawaii. You're going to a resort that has, they do it all the time. So they're like little tiger sharks. They're like little sharks that aren't going to eat you. You're not going to go swimming with. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go with a great white. No. I'm not going to be like, Sean, let's go rent a boat in Mexico. Let's go out here. Let's throw some
I'm not saying. So we're not going broad. We're not broad dog. We ain't doing it ourselves.
Right.
We're going to go with professionals for sure.
Right. So I'm pretty sure I'm good with just. I'll just be like, yeah.
Lemon sharks.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Okay. I'm just
But
wondering
yeah.
because I want to, and Alexa
Yeah.
wants to.
Yeah.
Tasha's like, no,
No.
it ain't happening. Like, not at all. Like, I ain't even doing it. She barely
Put your
get her in
hand
the
out and
ocean.
touch them on the nose so they
Yeah,
turn
you
and go
barely
away.
get her in the ocean. I'm going to flip it one upside down, tonic. We were just talking about it. Dude, I've seen it. If you put your hand on there and you rotate them over onto their bellies,
Okay.
they'll just lay there like little babies because their brain goes, they call it tonic.
Because they can't swim upside
They can
down.
do it. They do it to big ones. No, it's just some
Oh, really?
sort of whatever chemical thing. It happens. You flip them upside down, they'll just lay there, float, and these guys will
pet-
just hold these 12-foot sharks.
Pet their belly.
Yeah, as long as it's upside down, and then they'll rotate it over, and the thing's like swims off like nothing. Like it was just like what? Like it was almost like it passed
So do you think
out.
sharks are like dogs? They can sense fear?
I'm sure, dude. I think they can sense a lot of stuff.
Because
Like
I mean,
if you're peeing
I've
in
come
there,
up
when
with
you're
one.
peeing, they know. So they get all fired up. They're like, "This guy's peeing. He's such a pussy. Let's get all rounded up around him and circle him." Like, oh yeah, they sense it. If they can, yeah. And then they leave. All right, who's shit in the water?
Oh gosh, that
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah, let's see if we can get that little fat one to shit himself. And then they're all.
Did you just call me fat? Are
No,
you calling me fat?
I don't know
You
who it
just
could
pointed
be.
at me when you
Anybody
said
else?
it. You pointed at me when you said it. You know?
So they're gonna think you are, dude. Have you seen them? There's no fat sharks, dude. So they're just gonna swim around that one, and then all of a sudden, oh, could you imagine the dive instructors like, the dive guys are like, all right, who's shit? All the sharks left. Like that's how they do. That's what they want you to do. Poop your pants.
And you're like, I'll be the last one on the boat. Don't worry.
Yeah, that was me.
Take it out.
Awkward shit. Awkward shit right here. No, because I think, dude, like, I think that, like, bull sharks have the most, like, bites on people, you know, that kind of stuff. And so I feel like swimming with them, some are more aggressive. Like, makos are super fast. Lemon sharks, tiger sharks, they're chill. But great whites are super chill, too. Like,
They are.
they don't, I mean, sharks won't bite you unless you play with the private parts. That's what I heard,
Wow.
anyways.
Wow.
That was on a movie. But yeah, so all right, cool. Because I want to do it for sure. I don't want to, and I don't want to do it with a cage. Like I want to be out around them,
Okay, sounds
like
good.
for sure. So Shark Week, sign me up. I'm going for
Shark
it.
Week. You know, throw some
Maybe
shark.
we'll get on Amazing Race and then make you go and
Yeah.
do a shark swim or
Exactly.
something. Be perfect time. All right, dude.
All right, bro.
Well, that was good.
I'll have a
so,
bit
we'll
next
put-
week, by the way.
Put that. Okay, next week, Vinny's little bit. And then get on there, everybody. Tell people, share it. Let's go. Let's get this thing rolling. Let's keep it moving. Like I say, I enjoy getting on here with you, Vinny. It's a fun time. But let's get some. I still need a sponsor with that a mixer. So let's do that. Let's work something out.
Sounds like we're beating a dead horse over here.
Let's work that out. Well, I
All
just
of our
it's like,
listeners are
you know,
going,
when
go to
people-
Amazon, stupid.
when people on like the radio shows and they're doing like the fundraisers ask for money, they just keep doing it. So
That's
I'm just
true.
gonna keep doing it until you feel guilty enough. You got to buy
And
one.
if you're going to get hats, I think if we should do email at flappingyourgums@yahoo.com. And let's, figure out if you guys would like a hat or even a T-shirt. Just let's try to figure this stuff out.
Yeah,
So
we'll start making a
haven't
list.
made
So
some
I
for a
have some
while.
shirts too, so if somebody wants some, I have a few already. Like we can at least cover that. But we do have some merch, and we're gonna get some hats. So let us know hats. Like I said, comment. Like Vinny said, comment on YouTube or email, and tell us if you want a hat or a shirt, and then we'll get it going. I think we can get them for like $15, either one. So let us know, or
if you're
give
going to
me a
start
mixer.
selling
We'll
them,
bring you
you're
on as a
never gonna make any
sponsor.
money if
Give
you
me
get
a mixer, bring them on, and then I'll give you a hat and a shirt. You can wear it while we're doing the interview.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's sales point,
All right, buddy.
bro. All right, bro.
All right. See ya.
Peace.
Peace.